Hello and welcome back to another Walking Dead video, and today might be a slight rant video because I want to be talking about my thoughts on the Walking Dead universe and really what Gimple is doing with it and why I believe the Walking Dead just shouldn't have ended at this point, because I definitely believe that we are getting way too many spin-offs, and with these ongoing rumours that Aaron and maybe Gabriel might get another spin-off, is yet another spin-off of the Walking Dead with the main cast. And you're like, okay, what's the point of ending The Walking Dead if every single character is going to get their own show? That'd be 4 spin-offs from this one show. Like, I know they purposely cancelled The Walking Dead, and it's probably something to do with maybe Disney now buying Fox. So Disney owns some of the rights or distribution rights to The Walking Dead show. So maybe they were like, okay, we're going to cut our losses, because The Walking Dead, as it went on, it got tied up with all these different companies. It lost profitability. So I definitely think that's why the show originally was cancelled in 2020, because they realised The Walking Dead is stuck with all these other companies distributing it and making their money off it. AMC stopped having Walking Dead be as profitable as it could have been. So that's why it was cancelled. And now they're giving every character under the sun a spin-off. And what's the point? If you're just going to end The Walking Dead and give everyone a spin-off, why not just give everyone just a big spin-off? Just put everyone in one more as a sequel show? Because I'm getting worried, and this has come from a place of a worried fan. I'm worried we're going to end up like Star Trek in the late 90s, early 2000s with The Walking Dead, where we're going to get a show that is just going to flop and The Walking Dead's going to die for a decade, or maybe even never come back. Star Trek always had that movie stuff as well, so you could carry on with that in Star Trek. But Walking Dead, I think it's going to have the same fate of the late 90s, early 2000s Star Trek, and not have the revival that's going to get. That's what I think. That's why I'm really worried about it, because if these rumours are true, we're getting 2 more spin-offs, plus more Tales of the Walking Dead universe, which is just Tales, but instead of making Tales Season 2, they're going to make yet another show, and they're going to have the exact same premise, which is absolute bull. We're going to hit 11 spin-offs by about 2025, 2026, maybe even more by that point. And that is way too much. I think already 7 spin-offs is a lot for a universe, but we're going on to 11, and it's going to get a point where, because you're making so many spin-offs, you're just going to increase the franchise fatigue and just going to overwhelm fans. And it makes me believe that it was a wrong call to end The Walking Dead at this point, because if The Walking Dead was still on, we wouldn't be getting these big other shows like Dead City, Daryl Dixon, The Ones Who Live. And if The Walking Dead carried on, all those stories being told on those shows would eventually been told on The Walking Dead, and you might get the fans complain, oh, the show's going on for too long. However, you won't have that franchise fatigue that you're now just plummeting yourself towards with having 11 spin-offs. And it would still have some new spin-offs, which would be great, but you could have those spin-offs focus on new characters. And it is just a massive worry that I just have. I feel like they definitely need to get under control what they're doing with these spin-offs, because these spin-offs aren't really built into anything. They're their own show. They just go off and tell the story, and it all feels like, especially the ones about The Walking Dead, these stories could have been told in The Walking Dead if that show wasn't cancelled. And it is just greed and the inability of Gimple to be able to have a vision, and he's just pumping stuff out like the MCU, and that's not what we need. What we need for the Walking Dead franchise is to have as little shows on as possible. We do not need 4 to 5 shows on at one time. We just need The Walking Dead, and it just makes me believe that cancelling The Walking Dead has just hastened the inevitable franchise death of The Walking Dead, because you're going to overwhelm your fans with having all these characters used to be on one show. They are now spread across 4 shows, maybe eventually 5, when they might give someone small like Princess an own spin-off. It's gonna end up like that, because you're gonna overwhelm them. They're like, okay, I now need to watch this show, and this show, and this show. And with Gimple trying to, and failing to, have this overarching plot between all these shows, you're just going to make it more confusing for the fans. And it just makes more sense to have one show. If you wanted to cancel The Walking Dead because you had all these like deals and you're losing profit, cancel it and then just make a new show with a reduced cast, but all these spin-off characters in one show. That makes more sense, and you stop that franchise fatigue from setting in quicker, because you don't have fans having to be like, I need to watch this, and this. And what makes it worse, the Walking Dead franchise is not very good at making sure that the entire world is able to see. People in the UK still haven't been able to watch Dead City and Tales of the Walking Dead. Tales never aired in the UK, Dead City is still to air in the UK, and the Daryl Show and The Ones Who Live still probably will not air in the UK. So with certain countries, you might only be able to watch one of these shows, and with Gimple being like, okay, we're going to have the CRM here, 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 and here, you're only going to see half this CRM story. And it really does suck, as you're now isolating fans who are no longer able to watch The Walking Dead. You've now pushed a bunch of viewers out of your little community. And then on top of this, you're now going to have them have to track all of these different shows, and you're just going to end up digging yourself into a grave. I just feel at this point, Gimple and FCE might have just shot themselves in the foot. And more is not better. 3 spin-offs about The Walking Dead was good, but with this potential 4th one and a maybe 5th one in the future, makes me just believe cancelling The Walking Dead was a bad idea, and you should have just kept the show or just cancelled it and made a second show with all these characters. This franchise just really needs to slow down, because the more it's pumping out, the worse the quality is, and the closer it will be to just fizzing out and killing itself. Gimple is not the man you need behind the wheel for the Walking Dead universe, because he clearly does not have a vision for this. He's putting the CRM around here and there, and you're getting traces of this overall CRM plot. However, because it's so spread between so many shows, there's not really much there. They just need to focus on maybe 3 shows at a time, and maybe only have one show be about a continuation spin-off, and have 2 brand new idea shows. That's what I think the Walking Dead universe should have. I'm just really worried about this franchise in its current state. We are getting some great things, like Dead City was amazing. We're still yet to see about The Ones Who Live, because that's written by Gimple. I'm most worried about that one. And we have the Daryl Dixon show. I'm very confident that Norman Reedus is quite a good actor, and he's definitely going to carry that. But with this more Tales, we're getting a maybe Fear spin-off and another Aaron spin-off. It is just too much, and it's just pointless. Why end The Walking Dead? But please tell me down below my rant over. What do you think? Do you agree with me that there's too many spin-offs and The Walking Dead should have never ended? Or do you think The Walking Dead ended at a right time and all these spin-offs are good? I'd really like to know, are you pro or anti spin-off? But this is it for me today, and my rant is over. So make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Walking Dead universe. But goodbye, peace out, and I'll see you in the next video.